DKP Architects was founded in 1984 by my father, Mr. S.K. Dutta. And since then, the partners have joined the firm one by one. Initially, I started the firm and then Brinda Kannan joined in. And then Suman Paul, who's now our partner, has joined in to DKP. DKP has been doing architecture since about now close to 3 decades. In these 3 decades, we have evolved into a multidisciplinary firm where we don't have a very particular specialty. We handle clients right from commercial architecture, residential architecture, healthcare, and transportation design. So DKP as such works with different clients, different corporate bodies to do meaningful architecture. So that has always been our focus. We don't want to do architecture that is forced upon us. We've always wanted to do architecture that is meaningful, adds value to the city in which the building or that project is coming up, and obviously add value to the client and his company, his or her company.
Essentially, we create spaces. Now the question comes is, how do we make spaces? So the way we treat all our projects and our clients, and we look at a very inclusive process rather than very exclusive. So in the process, what happens when we include all our stakeholders, all our partners, the manifestation of our thought process becomes very, very rich. So that's the key thing what we look for in our whole design process. So now when we talk about that essentially breaks down the whole process into 3 major parts. So one is, how do we initiate? That's very, very kind of immeasurable. You cannot measure it. It's not tacit. It's not tangible. It's a thought form and it comes from everywhere. And we really indulge into that by forming the right question, asking the right thing to get to know more about the project, what you're going to do, for whom we are going to do, how it is going to serve at large. That's the whole purpose. And then that slowly transforms into the whole development of the project process, including the design and detailing and executing on site and so on. And then when it is done, then it becomes like a proper manifestation of our thought process, what we generated at the beginning. So that's how we look at the whole process. And for us, that's the start point is very, very crucial and very, very important. So we often say in the studio, that unless you're satisfied with your design brief, you have to design the design brief at the beginning. So until you get that aspiration, you will not move forward to the right direction. So for us, finding that right answer, the right design brief, the right aspiration level is extremely important, and that sort of moves into the process. So that's how we start. It's kind of fun. So we are creating spaces. We are, rather than architect, I would say all of us are kind of dreamer. We dream, and that dream we transfer onto the paper. We see it, we admire it, we reject it, whatever we do. And then it goes through that certain filtering process. We keep on adding layers and layers after layers, and then suddenly we see something is in front of us, and that's the kind of biggest high one can get in their life. So we aspire for that, everyday practice.
Technology is developing at a very fast pace today. We have a 3D printer in-house which allows us to immediately 3D print a model of the client's building immediately, and he can hold it in his hand and visualize the building, turn it all around. This gives the client control of the design process, which very rarely happens in an architectural practice. So these things is what we have tried to add to our design process, and this puts a lot of inclusivity for the client to become part of the process. That I think is very important in today's day.